Do a little video on doing injectors on one of these E-Series 7.3s. I already have them out, but it's going to be the same process getting them out as it is putting them in. There is one on the second cylinder back on the passenger side. You have to take the top off of it and then take the nuts off the transmission mount and jack up on the drive shaft a little bit, just this much, to get this to clear the firewall. I'm just doing O-rings on these. This is so many things. I got 9,000 miles. It ran really, really good. It just smoked when it got hot. It was burning oil. So hopefully I don't have any other problems. It's got a rebuilt turbo and stuff from the guy before me, but yeah, I'm gonna finish up these O-rings and then I'll get back to you guys. Another thing I want to mention, sorry, it's just a disaster in here. I bought this thing and the guy had it apart before me, putting the turbo on it. And he said it was blown up and yada yada yada, whatever. I ended up taking the seat out because the interior was disgusting from him before, and I made it a little bit worse. But you almost can't get in here to get those out. You can almost see right there at the end of my finger where that firewall kind of swoops this way, and that's where that injector hits. It's a bitch. The only thing I really had to do is I had to pull the downpipe loose and take that fucking noise reducer off the intake for the turbo. I'm probably gonna plug it because I don't know if you can see, but right there is the fuel filter. So you can't get to it from the front of this truck or van, whatever the fuck you want to call it. So I'm probably going to leave it off so that way I can easily get to the fuel filter, because it's not exactly easy to get that that noise reducer off. Okay, so I just got the driver's side in. It's a little bit tight. No big deal though. You gotta be real careful. You don't want to try to pry to push them in. I was lightly tapping with a soft blow, or whatever the fuck you want to call them. And it slowly went in there. My arms are really tired. I'm getting ready to torque the injector bolts down. And if you've never pulled injectors on one of these, period, you just take out this bottom bolt, and this little piece right here will slide up. And you can pry. It'll come. You don't have to take this bolt off. It'll slide off of that bolt, and then you can pry real lightly on it. You gotta watch it because you'll break these. I can't remember the oil deflectors or whatever they're called. But it's pretty straightforward on this side. But I guess I'll see you when I get over there. Don't really remember if I recorded this. It's been a couple days. Sorry about the mess in here. Yeah, I did. I said something about how the fucking guy before me that put the turbo on destroyed everything. Yeah. Anyway, I took the seat out. I think I said that too. I got two of the injectors in. The second one closest to me. This is the one you gotta take the head off of to get it out and jack up the transmission, but just loosening the nuts and putting the jack on the drive shaft. But I've ran into an issue where I can't get a hold of the injector to push it in far enough to get the bolt in to suck the injector down with the bolt. So I've got to come up with something. I don't really want to use a pry bar and try to pry down on it. All of them are going to be a bitch besides this one maybe. So yeah, I guess I'll get back to you when I figure something out, because this is a bitch. Alright, I'm back again. Different day again. I only work on this thing for a little bit. It's not at my house, so the two injectors are seated. I ended up taking two hammers, setting one down in here like this. It's plastic on the end, by the way, and just lightly tapping each one of them until I got, it's kind of hard to see. It's really hard to see. Alright, right underneath where that plugs in, there's a little bolt that you have to slide it up off of to pry it up. The bolt you don't take out. Well, once you get the injector far enough in there where it starts to catch on that bolt, you can take a pry bar and stick on the other end where your bolt goes in, like this, and you can lightly tap on the end of it, and it'll seat it enough where you can get the bolt started. So that's what I did on those two. I really hope these other two are going to be a lot easier. They should be. Those were a bitch. But after I was kind of scared to tap on them because I didn't know. Because, I mean, it's not real cheap metal that those are made out of. But I really didn't want to push it too hard. You're not even supposed to really tap them in. They're supposed to slide in. But at least I know I have a good sealing surface. But I'm going to go ahead and slide those other two in. I'm going to get these ones torqued first, make sure they're set right, and then I'm going to get these other two in and go from there. Kind of got this thing started this is easier to show you. See that bolt right there? You'll see how this slides back and forth. It's not far enough in there right now, but that bolt's got a collar on it. Well, maybe. Like this, so once you get hooked under here, you're able, this is where this bolt goes in, it's right there. Once you get this tapped in enough, be patient with them, don't. Okay, you'll kind of see what I'm talking about, how it slides under there. Mine's still not quite in there enough, but once you get that in there, you take your pry bar and put it just on the end of here and tap on it. It'll force it the rest of the way in. That's why you got to be easy. You don't want to tear the O-rings again. Ended up doing the same thing with that one, using the pry bar trick. So that's basically it for doing the injectors. I did a bunch of looked up a bunch of videos on how to get these things set again, and there's no information out there. So yeah, try to provide my feedback a little bit if you guys have any questions or anything. Everything else besides taking the injectors out and putting them back in is pretty straightforward. If you have any questions, leave a comment. Thanks.